Today we are taking this humble bell pepper and turning it into If you're new here, welcome back. If not, I'm Cassidy. I am a registered dietitian. I share a lot of vegetarian and vegan recipes on this channel, on my blog. My goal is just to make eating plant-based easier for you, so I share a lot of simple recipes that are perfect for lunch, dinner, meal prep. So stuffed bell peppers are definitely more of a summer thing, but my bell pepper plants are growing outside right now, so I figure it's like about time. This recipe is written for 6 bell peppers. I don't personally love green, but it's always an option. These red, orange, and yellow bell peppers will give you a sweeter flavor throughout. Definitely recommend using these. This recipe doesn't require too much prep, but you do need to dice a red onion, and of course you could use a yellow or white onion if you prefer. We're just going to roughly chop the onion because it is going to get mixed into that mixture, so don't worry about being too precise. Now, to hollow out those bell peppers, the easiest way to take off the top is to rotate the pepper while you slice it. This way you can either use the stem to pull off the top or just pull from the edges. And as my mother says, waste not, want not. So I do like to roughly chop up the tops of those peppers and saute them along with the red onion. So I have a medium pot here and I'm just going to heat it over medium-high heat. I'm going to add enough oil to coat the bottom of the pot. I'm using olive oil, but you could use any kind of neutral oil here. Once that's hot, go ahead and add in the diced onion and diced pepper, and we'll saute this for just about 4 to 6 minutes. And once that is to your liking, you can add in the quinoa. I do recommend rinsing the quinoa first. I use this fine mesh sieve, and I rinse it and then add it to the pot, and we will toast it for about a minute or two. So I'm adding in half a teaspoon of onion powder and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'm adding in a teaspoon of smoked paprika, which I don't usually do, but it sounded really good here, so that's optional, but adds smokiness. As well as 2 teaspoons of cumin and a teaspoon of chili powder. And I'm adding in 2 cups of veggie broth. Cooking the quinoa in that veggie broth instead of water just adds more flavor. Actually, it's better than bouillon instead of canned or boxed veggie broth. It's a lot more flavorful and a lot less expensive. So now we just simmer the mixture. That'll take about 15 minutes. The quinoa is ready when it is light and fluffy, and it should fully absorb all of that liquid. So don't stop cooking until the liquid is fully absorbed, because otherwise we'll end up with soggy peppers, which is just, not ideal. Now transfer that quinoa filling to a large mixing bowl. If your pot is big enough, you could just do this in the pot. And add in some corn. Fire roasted corn is so good here if you have it on hand. And black beans, you can use kidney beans, pinto beans, really any kind of bean here. And then fire roasted tomatoes. We'll also add in the zest from and the juice from 1 lime. And if you like it, I highly recommend adding in about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of chopped cilantro. Stir all of that together, and now it's time to stuff those peppers. Make sure your oven is preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we just stuff the peppers. And when I say stuff, I mean really press that filling in there. 1 medium pepper will fill up with about 1 cup of that quinoa mixture. Sprinkle it with some cheese of choice. I'm using a Mexican blend. You could, of course, use vegan cheese here. I use a cast iron dish here, but you could use any kind of baking dish. So just plop those peppers in there, plop them gently in there. And then this part is really important. You need to cover up the peppers or that cheese is going to burn before the peppers roast. And we're going to roast this for about 45 to 50 minutes total until those peppers are super soft and even starting to blister a little bit. That last 10 minutes, make sure to take off the foil. So you are gonna have a fair amount of leftover quinoa filling. I like to eat this on its own. Like, this is great for meal prep, lunch prep, whatever. I'll probably just eat it throughout the week with like tortilla chips, put it on salad. But if you're like, I don't want all that leftover filling, you can just cut the quinoa in half and do 1/2 cup of dry quinoa and 1 cup of vegetable broth and keep everything else the same. And meanwhile, this is probably the most important recipe instruction, so do not skip this. Go find a cat and dance around your kitchen a little bit. If you don't have a cat, just do a little dancing. So once those peppers are super soft and that cheese is melted, you can remove it from the oven, and that's it. It's time to enjoy the peppers. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Okay, this is gonna be a full-on fork and knife situation. I won't make you watch me eat the whole thing. If you are new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. I do try to share new videos on this channel every single week. And leave a like or a comment. And definitely let me know if you try this recipe because I love hearing from you. If you have any recipe requests, you can leave them down below, shoot me an email. And as always, thank you so much for watching.